The U.S. Navy is known for its advanced technology and extraordinary maintenance of defense systems. It is also known well for its role in maritime defense, power projection, and maintaining freedom of navigation. It operates a powerful fleet of ships, submarines, and aircraft, contributing to national security and global stability. The Sikorsky SH-60 MH-60 Seahawk, or commonly known as Seahawk, is an example of magnificent engineering. What do you think are the special features of these helicopters, and how do they take a spot in the U.S. Navy? Let's figure it out together. The Seahawk is a twin turboshaft engine, multi-mission United States Navy helicopter based on the United States Army H-60 Black Hawk and a member of the Sikorsky S-70 family. During the 1970s, the U.S. Navy began looking for a new helicopter to replace the Kaman SH-2 Seasprite at the time. The SH-2 Seasprite was used by the Navy as its platform for the Light Airborne Multi-Purpose System, aka LAMP's Mark I avionics suite for maritime warfare, and a secondary search and rescue capability. Advances in sensor and avionic technology lead to the LAMP's Mk2 suite being developed by the Naval Air Development Center. The Navy then conducted a competition in 1974 to develop the LAMP's Mk3 concept, which would integrate both the aircraft and shipboard systems. The Navy selected IBM Federal Systems to be the prime systems integrator for the LAMP's Mk3 concept. Since the SH-2 was not large enough to carry the Navy's required equipment, a new airframe was required. In the mid-1970s, the Army evaluated the Sikorsky Yu-UH-60 and Boeing Vertol Yu-UH-61 for its Utility Tactical Transport Aircraft System, or UTTAS competition. The Navy based its requirements on the Army's UTTAS specification to decrease costs from commonality, to be the new airframe to carry the LAMP's Mk3 avionics. Sikorsky and Boeing Vertol submitted proposals for Navy versions of their Army UTAS helicopters in April 1977 for review. The Navy also looked at helicopters being produced by Bell, Kaman, Westland, and MBB, but these were too small for the mission. In early 1978, the Navy selected Sikorsky's S-70B design, which was designated SH-60B Seahawk. IBM was the prime systems integrator for the LAMP's Mk3 with Sikorsky as the airframe manufacturer. The SH-60B maintained 83% commonality with the UH-60A. The main changes were corrosion protection, more powerful T700 engines, single-stage oleo main landing gear, removal of the left side door, adding 2 weapon pylons, and shifting the tail landing gear 13 feet or 3.96 meter forward to reduce the footprint for shipboard landing. Other changes included larger fuel cells, an electric blade folding system, folding horizontal stabilizers for storage, and adding a 25-tube pneumatic sonobuoy launcher on the left side. An emergency flotation system was originally installed in the stub wing fairings of the main landing gear. However, it was found to be impractical and possibly impede emergency egress, and thus was subsequently removed. After the SH-60B entered service, the Navy conducted a competition to replace the SH-3 Sea King. The competitors were Sikorsky, Kaman, and IBM. Sikorsky began development of this variant in March 1985. In January 1986, 7 SH-60Fs were ordered, including 2 prototypes. The first example flew on 19th of March 1987. The SH-60F was based on the SH-60B airframe, but with upgraded SH-3H avionics. The SH-60F primarily served as the Carrier Battle Group's primary anti-submarine warfare (ASW) aircraft. The helicopter hunted submarines with its AQS-13F dipping sonar and carried a 6-tube sonobuoy launcher. The SH-60F is unofficially named Ocean Hawk. The SH-60F can carry Mk-46, Mk-50, or Mk-54 torpedoes for its offensive weapons. And it has a choice of fuselage-mounted machine guns, including the M60D, M240D, and GAU-16 for self-defense. The HH-60H was developed in conjunction with the U.S. Coast Guard's HH-60J, beginning in September 1986 with a contract for the first 5 helicopters with Sikorsky as the prime contractor. The variant's first flight occurred on 17 August 1988. Deliveries of the HH-60H began in 1989. The variant earned initial operating capability in April 1990 and was deployed to Desert Storm with HCS-4 and HCS-5 in 1991. The HH-60H's official DoD and Sikorsky name is Seahawk. though it has also been referred to as Rescue Hawk. The MH-60R Romeo was originally known as LAMP's Mark III Block II upgrade, when development began in 1993 with Lockheed Martin, which was formerly IBM Loral. Two SH-60Bs were converted by Sikorsky, the first of which made its maiden flight on 22 December 1999. Designated YSH-60R, they were delivered to NAS Patuxent River in 2001 for flight testing. The production variant was redesignated MH-60R to match its multi-mission capability. The MH-60R was formally deployed by the U.S. Navy in 2006. Offensive capabilities are improved by the addition of new Mk-54 air-launched torpedoes and Hellfire missiles. All helicopter anti-submarine light HSL squadrons that receive the Romeo are redesignated Helicopter Strike Maritime Squadrons. The Navy decided to replace its venerable CH-46 Sea Knight helicopters in 1997. After sea demonstrations by a converted UH-60, the Navy awarded a production contract to Sikorsky for the CH-60S in 1998. The variant first flew on 27 January 2000, and it began flight testing later that year. The CH-60S was redesignated MH-60S in February 2001 to reflect its planned multi-mission use. The MH-60S is based on the UH-60L and has many naval SH-60 features. Unlike all other Navy H-60s, the MH-60S is not based on the original S-70B SH-60B platform with its forward-mounted twin tail gear and single starboard sliding cabin door. Instead, the S model is a hybrid featuring the main fuselage of the S-70A UH-60 with large sliding doors on both sides of the cabin and a single aft-mounted tailwheel, and the folding tail pylon, engines, drivetrain, and rotors of the S-70B SH-60. It also includes the integrated glass cockpit developed by Lockheed Martin for the MH-60R and shares some of the same avionics, weapon systems. The MH-60S will utilize the BAE systems, Archerfish remotely operated vehicle to seek out and destroy naval mines from the air, selected as a concept in 2003 by the Navy as part of the Airborne Mine Neutralization System, or the AMNS program, and developed since 2007. The Archerfish is dropped into the water from its launch cradle, where its human operator remotely guides it down towards the mine using a fiber optics communications cable that leads back up to the helicopter. In 2022, the Royal Norwegian Air Force is considering the UH-60 as a replacement for the NH Industries NH-90. On the 14th March 2023, the Norwegian Ministry of Defense announced that Norway will procure MH-60R Seahawk for the Norwegian Coast Guard. Training is to start immediately in cooperation with the Royal Danish Air Force. Now, on to the more notable part. The Seahawk is a modern-day workhorse for the U.S. Navy. While the SH-60B like that on display specializes in anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare, a number of Seahawk variants exist, each fulfilling a unique role. Packed with an array of advanced sensors and avionics and capable of carrying a variety of ordnance, the SH-60B has been a deadly part of the Navy's arsenal since the 1970s and will remain so until replaced with the enhanced MH-60R. Some of its significant modifications include the folding main rotor blades and a hinged tail to reduce its footprint aboard ships. With all the features that this offers, many countries demand it. Spain ordered 12 S-70B Seahawks for its Navy. The Royal Australian Navy ordered 16 S-70B-2s which were delivered in 1988 and 1989. In December 2017, the S-70B-2s were retired from service. The Royal Danish Navy, or the RDN, put the MH-60R on a short list for a requirement of around 12 new naval helicopters, together with the NH-90, NFH, H-92, AB-159, and AD-1D-101. In July 2009, the Republic of Korea requested 8 MH-60S helicopters, 16 GE T-700 401C engines, and related sensor systems to be sold in a foreign military sale. However, South Korea instead chose the AW-159 in January 2013. In 2011, Qatar requested a potential foreign military sale of up to 6 Mirror 60R helicopters, engines, and other associated equipment. In 2011, Singapore bought 6 S-70Bs, and then in 2013 ordered an additional 2. In early 2015, Israel ordered 8 ex-Navy SH-60Fs. to support the expansion of the Israeli Navy surface fleet for ASW, ASUW, and SAR roles. In 2015, Saudi Arabia requested the sale of 10 MH-60R helicopters and associated equipment and support for the Royal Saudi Navy. In February 2011, India selected the S-70B over the NH Industries NH-90 for an acquisition of 16 multi-role helicopters for the Indian Navy to replace its aging Westland Sea King fleet. India selected the Seahawk for procurement in November 2014. There are many more countries that currently use it, and not to mention, there are also many other variants that are used and they have been succeeding in fulfilling their purpose well. If you found the insights in the video helpful, don't forget to like this video to let us know that you appreciate such content. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our content in the future.